Is that, ready, Rachel? We'll go ahead and call the Tuesday, December 13th meeting of the City of Danville Public Works Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Chairman Mike Poor,
Present.
Vice Chair Mike O'Kane,
Here.
Alderman Alicia Ford,
Present.
Bob Iverson,
Present.
Jim Pashard,
Present.
Carolyn Wands,
Present.
Heidi Wilson, 6 present.
6 present, thank you. Item number 2 is approval of the minutes. These will be from the November 8th, 2022 meeting. If there's no corrections, need a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item number 3 is approval of the agenda. There are no deletions from the agenda, so need a motion to approve the agenda, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Item number 4, audience comments.
Has everyone had a chance to fill out a comment card that would like to speak? If no, we have no comments tonight.
No comments? Okay, thank you. Item number 5, chairman's comments. Just like to remind everyone that these memorial service for Senator Bennett will be Monday at 10 a.m. at the Cranert Center in Champaign. So I'm not sure how many people are going to go or want to go, but that'll be 10 a.m. Monday the 19th at the Cranert Center.
Have you heard of anything local for him?
I've not heard. Mayor, have you heard anything?
I have not.
I mean, it's going to be extremely large, but
Yeah.
just keep his family and kids especially in your prayers, man, a week before Christmas or 10 days before Christmas. And just terrible, just terrible.
You know what I can say about Senator Chairman is that we didn't always agree on everything, but he was an honest man and he worked really hard to make sure that Danville and Vermillion County were always considered and that we got our fair share of resources. he also was someone who endeavored to understand your point even when he disagreed. And so I think that that's rare, especially in public service anymore. So I'll certainly miss Senator Bennett. He was someone that we could count on.
I'll share a little story. When Senator Bennett was campaigning, he stopped my mom's house, and she invited me in. They were chit-chat and everything else. On her 90th birthday, I invited Senator Bennett and Representative Hayes, I believe, and Mayor Eisenhower. They all did proclamations, all came to her party, and Scott Bennett says, "Yep, I remember Dorothy. I went to her house. She was so nice and invited me in." So he knew his constituents, and really, really good guy all the way around. So, all right, that's all I have. Item number 6, the approval of the payrolls. These will be from the December 9th, 2022 run. Need a motion to put that on the table, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, questions on the payrolls? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Ford,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Item number 7 is the approval of the vouchers payable. These will be the vouchers payable for December 13th and also the special run for December 13th. Need a motion to put those on the table for discussion, please.
So move.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Alderman O'Kane.
Is this the one that came
Yeah.
out at 5:20 in the afternoon? We're voting on that one? Are we allowed to vote on something that comes to our attention at 5:20 in the afternoon?
It's under his payrolls, his payables.
You had all of them except for the special run, which was done today, I believe.
Well, that's what I'm saying, the special run. You know, it just doesn't, it's all legitimate expenses. It just doesn't seem right, 30 or 40 minutes before a meeting that we get something. That's all I want to say.
Yeah.
It just happened to be a coincidence that the checks needed written for today, and today happens to also be a meeting day. So if the checks had to be written for, Monday, yesterday, the special run would have been distributed to you yesterday and meeting still today. It's just an unfortunate
So,
timing.
I just think the public ought to have knowledge of what's going on, and they can't have knowledge in a half an hour.
Well, also, we get them to you as soon as we possibly have them. Again, there's urgent things that happen all the time. It's been done this way for the 10 years that you've served on the council, and you've never said.
This is the latest one I've.
And of course, it'll go to city council
Right.
next week. All committee meeting accounts payable also go to the council meetings.
I mean, if you want to pull it, we can pull
No,
it
I don't
and
wanna pull
move
it. I
on to
just-
just
I
do it at
just-
the next Tuesday's
just-
meeting, but
It just kind of irks me that it comes this late.
If you would rather not be informed ahead of time next time, we can certainly, put it in later.
and a lot of this dealt with the Kirshner development property, title and things, right?
Yeah, that's another issue is that, closings aren't scheduled until, a few days out, and then we don't get a settlement sheet in finance until maybe 2 days before closing. So with all withholdings and fees and everything, so we don't get an exact dollar. We put in the purchase order ahead of time with enough room for closing fees, but the actual check to be cut for closing isn't provided to finance until sometimes 48 hours before. So and the purchases of the property were approved in previous council meetings.
Well, yeah.
So they've already been approved.
Okay, other questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Iverson,
Yes.
Bouchard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Item number 8, Public Transportation Director, Reith is not here, but Pete's here, so items of information and monthly report.
Nothing new to report.
And then were we gonna, is that coming up later? What did Lisa email?
On the bid 709.
The bids, yeah.
Yeah.
That's for council.
Okay,
Next year.
when we move on, okay, yeah. Okay, you did see the monthly reports, any questions? Thank you. Moving on to Public Works, item number 9. Director Carpenter, we have 9A, an ordinance approving the purchase of real estate. Well, you know what? Maybe we should take
A and B.
A and B together. 9A is an ordinance approving the purchase of real estate for community improvement and for property address 935 Robinson Street. 9B is an ordinance approving the purchase of real estate for community improvement for properties addressed at 844 North Griffin and 1214 East Fairchild Streets. Need a motion to put those both on the table, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, questions?
The money we're spending want to spend at Garfield, where's that coming from?
That's coming out of the property acquisition line item in the 310 fund.
And refresh my memory on numbers. Which one is for demolition?
The 310 fund is for acquisitions and demolition and other items related to community
So-
improvement.
Why aren't we using the ARPA funds for the park?
So,
So that we have money
yeah, we
other places for demolition?
we discussed that a while back. Not that it couldn't be done with ARPA funds, but there are numerous rules and documentation items that would potentially slow us down and not give us as much flexibility in procurement of those properties should we use the ARPA funds with them. So in an abundance of caution, we're not doing that to make sure that we don't run into issues there on
And we
that
would
project.
also have to do a lot of extra tests and procedures that would cost the taxpayers tens of thousands of dollars more if we were to use ARPA funds, because they would require certain rules.
Right, so we can't just use a local appraiser in that. You have to have a local appraiser and a check appraisal and a negotiating agent and a bunch of other things that are not me. And honestly, those costs can add up to $20,000 to $30,000 a property, which just raises the cost of doing that substantially and the time to do it. So,
As long as we don't run out of money for a lot of the much-needed demolition in other areas.
Other questions? Okay, roll call on A and B, please.
Alderman Pritchard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. 9C is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to purchase properties for blight reduction. I need a motion to put that on the table, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded.
Second.
Okay. Questions?
Mayor, you want to explain this? I mean, are you just changing things from 10 to 20, basically?
That's the primary change. The other change is just expressly allowing us to waive the appraisal process too if it's under $20,000. So raising the 10 from 10 to 20, the appraisal and the acquisition.
Okay. And the appraisal has always been just one appraisal, even in the past?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have.
Oh, yeah. Anybody else? Roll call, please, on 9C.
Alderman Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. 9D is a resolution authorizing a budget amendment to the fiscal year 22-23 Harrison Park Golf Course 400 budget. Need a motion to put that on the table, please.
So moved.
Second.
Carl?
Once again, this is just Harrison Park's having a pretty good year. A little bit in overtime, some of the group insurance, because some of the auxiliaries worked a little longer this year as well as FICA. And then you see the merchandise for resale and concessions again, which are doing a lot better than we ever thought they would. And we need to transfer money into them now so that we can pay for the goods that we got.
The remodels helped, huh?
What's that?
The remodels helped.
That and just having a really nice looking course. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a good year for golf, I think.
Having someone to manage it properly too,
Yeah.
I think, and also receiving the revenue from the sales in the pro shop also helps us as well. There have been a number of changes, I think, that have helped out immensely there. So much for closing the golf course as it was rumored that I intended to do, right?
I was out over the weekend for the Christmas Bazaar. It's the first time I'd actually been out since the remodel. Everything really looked nice. The vendors were all full, a lot of people, a lot of traffic. It was a nice event.
Okay. See no other questions, roll call, please.
Alderman Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. 9E is a resolution appropriating MFT funds for the reconstruction of portions of North Logan Avenue and North Street. Need a motion to put that on the table?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Okay, so this is just a resolution saying that we intend to spend the funds. We're not actually spending the funds. We're telling IDOT that you all give us the blessing to do this project, and therefore they will review our plans and do things like that. This is part of kind of the ongoing projects around the Carl, at the riverfront redevelopment. We started the design on these projects back in 2019, and this is the third and final phase of those projects in that area. We expect to go to bid, well, it could be as early as January, but we do have some utility relocations to deal with there, so that may slow things down a bit, but it will be coming down the pipeline, and probably the next time you see something on this project will hopefully be when we are awarding bid to a contractor to construct the improvements.
Haven't they already been doing work at Logan and North Street?
Well, there was a large water main break there, so there was work done there, but not intentionally, let's say.
Because I noticed all of a sudden they were digging a lot of holes in front of that doctor's office.
Yes, that's correct. So a lot there, and I expect there's other ongoing work all around that area too, so it's hard to tell who's doing what most of the time.
So was this curbs and sidewalks and
Yeah,
and
so-
the street? And
So this is milling and overlaying the street, improving the storm sewer system in that area so we don't get flooding down on Route 150 that comes from kind of our lack of drainage in that area. Redoing the curbs, redoing the sidewalks and driveway entrances, adding a shared use path along the park side of the property, and redoing the street lighting as well.
So we going basically from Logan around to Gilbert, that whole area?
So part of that's under construction already. North Street, Lafayette, Robinson are under construction now. This would be picking up near the salon at the intersection of North and Logan there, and all of Logan from Main Street to the dead end section.
Okay. Other questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman O'Kane,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. 9F is a resolution approving an agreement for engineering services for 2023 bridge inspections and amending the fiscal year 22-23 Fund 107 infrastructure improvement budget. Need a motion for that, please.
Second.
Okay. Questions on that? Okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Ford,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Poor,
Yes.
6 yes.
Thank you. If no objection, I'd like to take 9G and 9H together. They both deal with concrete. G is a resolution amending the contract for bid number 696-2022 concrete patching. And 9H is a resolution amending the contract for bid number 699-2022 miscellaneous concrete improvements and amending the fiscal year 22-23 Fund 107 infrastructure improvement budget. Okay, And if there's no objection, take those both together. Need a motion to put those on the table, please.
So move.
Second.
Okay, questions on that, or Sam, do you have?
I'll just give some commentary. You'll probably notice a trend. A lot of our smaller maintenance projects, like these concrete patching projects, it's not uncommon for us to get out in the field and find issues that we didn't know existed and have to come back for an amendment, such as the case. We have a failing concrete road that needs lots of patching. Between the time we do the patching survey and construction, it's even worse than it started. So we're back here asking for more money because we had to expand the scope of that. In the case of the miscellaneous concrete stuff, that was mostly curb and sidewalk work. Oftentimes we get out in the field and we find, okay, if we go a little bit further here, this will be better, or conditions have changed a little bit, something's happened. Not every project does go over budget. I just want to add that. We just found out that, we're under budget by about $50,000 on our Cape Seal project. That one's been completed. We're projecting, believe it or not, to be under budget on our contract for the Denmark Road project at this point. We're under budget right now on Jackson Voorhees project, and we are under budget on the Northwest Sanitary Sewer project, which we're trying to close out. So those are kind of some big ticket projects, but it's kind of a wash. Sometimes you don't know whether you're going to end up under budget or over budget. You just adapt as you go. So,
But all under budget's good.
it is, yes.
Give them a while.
Well, it's dangerous too, though, because you wonder, where did we cut corners?
Okay, any questions? Okay, roll call on G and H, please.
Alderman Iverson,
Yes.
Pashard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Coeur,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. 9I is a resolution awarding the contract for bid number 710, Lakeside Drive, Eastgate Drive, and Woodland Trace Pump Station Improvements. Need a motion with those on the table, please.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion? Anything, Sam?
I'll just add, this is significantly higher than our estimate. We have seen huge increases on projects of this nature in the last 2 years. So that's something we're tracking and trying to, look at, are we going to have to reevaluate the situation in the future? But those are costs that we're not going to get out of paying, and I can't predict a day when costs will go down. So not reliably. So we are still recommending awarding. I will say I'm very pleased that we had 5 bids on this nature of project. Only a few years ago, we would only get 2 bids, albeit from great contractors that we had, great success with still. But to see this level of interest and to have a bid this tight, I mean, we were they were like less than 0.5% apart on the 2 lowest bids. And both local contractors, that's just great to see. So,
Questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Pashard,
Yes.
Wands,
Yes.
Wilson, O'Kane,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Coeur,
Yes.
6 yes.
Yeah, discussion only. 6 yes, thank you. I should have amended the agenda, but 9J will not be a resolution at this time. It'll only be a discussion item, and it will be voted on at the full council meeting, but we'll just be discussing it at this meeting. So that's authorizing the purchase of a new sewer televising vehicle. Who's taking that one?
Yep. So this is for the purchase of a new sewer televising truck. Our current truck is a 2004. So as you can imagine, technology has changed a little bit since 2004. It has been updated once before, which was, I think, also 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. So still, technology has changed quite a bit. The truck has become very unreliable as far as most of it is the computer side of things. But also the chassis and everything has also gotten older. So this is basically a replacement. We called around to some local televising contractors who kind of advise us to stick with the certain brand that we currently use and all of them use as well, and said, like, you need to stick with this brand. It's definitely the the most reliable in the market and with longevity, for longevity's sake. So anyway, this we had planned in our 5-year capital plan to be replaced this year. The reason we're wanting to jump on this is because we went through the joint purchasing agreement with Houston Galveston Area Council Cooperative Purchasing Program. That's a lot, but it's a joint purchasing agreement. Got us quite a good deal. So we got a quote on this last year just to make sure that we were budgeting appropriately. They told us it was going to be around $300,000. So when we saw $257,000 come in, that's the first thing that we've had in a long time that's under budget. So, so we want to nab it. That being said, we were told by the salesman if we wait till after the first of the year, they intend prices to go up. He couldn't tell me how much, but he just said basically they notified him prices go up after the first of the year. So we wanted to try to get approval in on this year to keep prices low.
Probably went up to that $300,000 range. Yeah, and that's the reason, but since it came late, it could not be put, it was added to the agenda, but it couldn't be voted on tonight. So I said just do a discussion item, we'll move it on to the full council for a vote next week, but will any of the existing equipment be able to be integrated with this?
So, yeah, so our current cameras, we were able to save some money because a couple of our current cameras we've bought in recent years are able to also be used on this truck, which, once again, if we would have switched brands, we would have lost the ability to do that. So those cameras are $20,000 to $30,000 a piece, and we're able to keep 3 of them that we currently own. So, yeah, that helps a lot, so.
And if some of the, Alderman Ford wouldn't know, but we did hire a company that did go and do some televising of trying to get a good view of all of our sewers and things. This is for in-house use when we have a break somewhere and we're able to see and things, but every so often it's a lot more cost effective for us to contract out, for the big stuff. But this definitely, gosh, I remember when we got that back in, when was it,
2004 is the year of the truck, so.
Yeah, but it'd be well worth it. So, with the permission of the committee, I'd like to just move this forward to the full council for the final vote. Okay with everybody?
Go for it.
Okay. So next week, it'll be a resolution. Okay, any item of information?
Yes, I guess this would go along with a little bit with this purchase of this sewer truck. The automotive industry is slowly beginning to catch up on getting new units back into the dealerships. But we've currently been looking for skid steer to replace one of the older units we have. And they're telling us that even if we ordered it today, it's a year out before we even get it. I located one today in Morris, Illinois, which is up north on Route 47. It said as of last Tuesday it was available. The gentleman called me back at 2 o'clock this afternoon and said, no, they sold it 2 days ago. So as you see, Public Works is in a great predicament. Chief Yates, Chief Marcotte's going to tell you the same thing. We need equipment when we need it. We're going to make this unit last another year. You're going to see expenditures come through on it. Some may be for a drive motor. It could be for an engine for several $1,000s, but we'll knock on wood and not hope so. But so you may still see us come back, myself or Dave, and ask that we push something through quicker, because when we do find equipment that's on the lot or a vehicle that's on the lot, if you haven't been to Public Works, tomorrow when some of you come down there, take a look at some of the equipment. Some of the equipment is older than the mechanics working on it. And we smile at that, but I don't think anyone in this room is probably driving a vehicle older than their children or their grandchildren, and, well, some of us, but anyway. I think you get the gist of what I'm saying, and we appreciate you working with us and trusting that we're doing what we need to do. We're trying to save every dollar we can and get the best products we can for the city, and we will always do that, but on occasion, we can't wait a year or 2 years for a new vehicle. You're going to learn real quickly that the fire department, if we order a truck today, the bids we got last week were 2 years away before they received the truck. And I've looked long and hard for fire apparatus on a lot somewhere to purchase, and the ones that were available 4 months ago are long gone. So once again, we appreciate you working with us and expect us to come back to you at some point in time within the next year asking for the ability to purchase something quicker than we normally do, okay?
I just want,
Well, and that's a testimony, I mean, like I say, keeping the equipment running is a testimony to the quality of the mechanics and things that we have, because I used to work with that old equipment. It's takes a lot to keep it running. But, you know, it's all how much you want to put in it.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah, I just wanted to add a little, not on that same note, but Alderman O'Kane was asking about the check getting cut today, you know, and then showing up on here. I just wanted to kind of give people a picture of that, you know, a little bit better. We are doing our best to, and I will tell you that finance doesn't like it either. They've expressed that to me. So they have, you know,
I think I overheard that conversation.
they have, yes, they have accommodated us. Because, I mean, Ashland's absolutely right. I mean, we're getting, you know, you may approve a purchase at council weeks or months in advance. And we go through the process of getting ready to close. And not until all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed do we get a closing statement that tells us exactly how much to cut the check for. And that is sometimes a day before or 2 days before or a week before closing. It just depends. So they have to rush that out for us. In addition to that, we're also trying to accommodate the requests of the residents and the people relocating who have their own circumstances trying to get into new houses or something like that. And they said, please expedite this closing or do whatever. And we're just trying to bend over backwards and do what we can to accommodate them. And finance has done a good job of working with us despite their wishes. And, you know, they know what your guys' desires are. And we're just trying to make this work in a government situation in a not 100% government world. So.
Appreciate the explanation. Moving on to item number 10, closed session. There is no need for closed session. Item 11, review of the 2022 tax levy and fiscal year 23-24 proposed budget. Ashley's going to do that for you.
All right, this is the last item on the calendar before the big vote, which is going to be December 20th, next week, Tuesday, City Council. I will send you, before the end of this week, I was waiting to see if there's any feedback this evening, a final version of the budget. I did have one correction under the Division 13 budget where I dropped off a 0, so our newest alderwoman pointed that out to me, so I appreciate that. An updated levy as well. There was 2 numbers switched. Alderman O'Kane pointed that out, so get some final versions. In the scheme of things, it didn't affect anything, but we want it to be as perfect as possible. So as I always do, between the last draft and this draft, I'll provide you an additional document with every change that is different, big or small, just so you are aware and know what the differences are. So if you have any questions, now's the time on the budget or the tax levy.
The big question is, should we bring our notebooks back in to put the new budget and tax levy in? No.
I think I need to run an analysis on how much the tablets have saved us in paper.
I think you do.
I think we need a refresher.
Because before, every darn week, we'd get a new printed out, how many page of the levy and budget, and oh my God.
Even as the mayor, there were times I'm like, I don't even know which version
Yeah.
we're on anymore, you know?
Now it's all electronic, and boom, it doesn't get printed till the
We have those
final.
big binders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, technology, it's great, isn't it? Especially those
Once you get used
programmable
to
light
it.
bulbs.
Yeah, once you figure it out.
Once you have your former fellow alderman teaching you, alderman, chairman and vice chairman, okay, and teaching me how to
Yeah, how
use
do I
it.
do this? Okay, where's that?
Oh, I do have one more note on the levy, sorry. So the last levy draft that was presented to you, there was a column highlighted in yellow for the pension contributions. We had both Lauterbach and Almond numbers, so what it would take to be 100% funded by 2040, what their estimate of the statutory contribution is, so 90% at 2040. But we are still waiting on the Illinois Department of Insurance number, which is the statutory requirement. So Lauterbach was guessing at it. They're telling us what it is. We just got fires back literally this morning. So I do have that number. It's $100,000 less than the estimated 100% funding. So we're good on fire for our budgeted levy, and we expect our police to be uploaded tomorrow. That is what we have been promised. So that is another reason why I was waiting till later this week. So, but that's good news. It looks good. We're estimating for the right amount, so.
Great. Okay. No questions, comments? Okay. Thank you, Comptroller. Moving on to item number 12, items of information, anything? Anybody? Mayor?
One thing that's not directly city related, but it is because we're certainly proud of them. The young ladies, the 8th grade team at Northridge, are not only the regional but sectional champs, and now they are playing for the state championship game this Thursday at 7:30. And Bloomington, I'm hoping to go over and cheer them on. They will be having a pep rally of sorts at 3:15 that afternoon. I will be saying just a few words. If you want to join us, it'd be great to see folks out supporting and encouraging our young people. Whenever they're making good choices, we need to recognize that all the more so.
And when they win the state, they'll be riding back in on the fire trucks, right?
That's right. Fire and police will be escorting them back in. So we've already, it's interesting. We've gotten, we've had so many championships, Chairman, amongst our various teams in the city, we've got it down now, and so actually everything is coordinated should they win, so.
Okay. Seeing no more items of information, committee members' comments.
I'd like to thank Mr. Carpenter for changing our flag. It was getting out front, it was getting quite tattered, and I mentioned it to him, and he was right on it, so I appreciate that.
And I will say too, Dave and Carl, that received some nice emails from folks on Grant Street and things. We're working on bricks. They were very, very, we told them back 2 years ago, we didn't know how long it would take, but we would eventually get to it. So, yeah, so that's happening. But appreciate that as well. Okay. We do have one more meeting next week. Public Services doesn't have to come this month. I think we ought to switch let's switch next December. We'll do Public Services the second Tuesday and Public Works the
It's between the
fourth
two
Tuesday.
holidays. Come on, guys.
Oh, anyway. All righty. Haven't satisfied the agenda. Motion for adjournment, please.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.
Yeah.